Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old, they are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret.
Hooray!
I am Emmett Davenport.
And I, dramatic pause, and Lady Attercop. I was trying to meet your energy there, and it sounded very, and I
don't know why I was...
And the man who killed your father!
I am your father!
15 Papa? The ultimate twist.
I was your father all along.
Your father all along.
You didn't know.
Your brother, your sister, your brother, your sister. Oh.
An absolute stranger.
Bum, bum, bum. We're trying to workshop some movie ideas because Emmett so cruelly destroyed the best idea I had for a TV series ever, and she utterly destroyed it by pointing out someone had already done it before me.
No, I did.
And I'm mad.
I'm sorry.
I'm not mad, but I'm mad.
I'm glad you're mad and not disappointed, because that's a phrase that just makes me, that cuts me to the quick. I can deal with mad. I can't deal with disappointed.
Well, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at someone else beat me to the idea.
At the world?
Well, also, yes. But beat me to the idea and did, I think, a worse job of it than I would have done.
Well, I mean, your idea was like 200, you had 200 years to get in on it. Actually, not that long. It was like 100 years. You had 100 years to get in on it.
Look, I'm a late bloomer, okay? But no, I had this idea of like, what if the X-Files, right? But instead of Mulder and Scully, it's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Harry Houdini. And every week they're solving mysteries, you know. And it turns out never to be a supernatural thing. And that's why Sir Arthur Conan Doyle writes it up in his little books. And it's going to be very funny. And Harry Houdini is wee. And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is giant. And it's very Odd Couples, very X-Files, very like, you know, steampunk. And I was like, I think it's already been a TV show. And it was bad.
It wasn't so much bad as that it didn't last very long.
People beat me to my own good ideas, and then they ruin them.
Yeah.
Because I will guarantee they did not play up the height difference between Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Harry.
They
Houdini.
didn't. I don't think
enough.
I don't think the actors were. I mean, I believe there was a height difference, but I don't think it was played for laugh. There wasn't a lot of laughs in it. I think that
it wouldn't have been played for laughs. It would just be played for visual interest.
I just think that
plus large always equals gold.
I just think that, well, like Laurel and Hardy. If Laurel and Hardy solved crimes, that would be.
Well, they did. I mean, they did get haunted several times, and I believe they solved one or two crimes. So.
Well, yes, but if it was Laurel and Hardy instead of Laurel and Hardy, it was Doyle and Houdini.
And for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Harry Houdini were friends, IRL, historical buds, and Harry Houdini was a famous debunker of spiritualism, and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was historically super into spiritualism.
Yes, yeah. He's also the
Oh.
reason why the I believe the Lady Coddington's fairy book exists.
The Lady Coddington's fairy is a
Well, it's a Brian Froud thing.
yes,
But
the real thing was the Cottingley fairies,
Yes.
and they were two small girls who cut pictures,
fairy pictures out of books and then hung them with string
out of a book,
and fooled.
stuck them in their garden and took some photographs. And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, famous for writing Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, fell for that crap hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Well, it's also, to be fair, no one had used film. No one had used a camera in that way, at least.
Yeah, no, I understand
Well
that,
known.
but like they are very clearly illustrations.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh no.
And
I've seen them. I've looked at them.
And I believe the girl's mother like knew it was a hoax and was like telling people.
Yes.
Like, no, don't believe my kids. They're liars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't like even in the day that everyone believed it. It just he wanted to believe. He had a poster in his study, his Victorian study, a little UFO cut out, and said, "I want to believe."
It wasn't a UFO. It was a little fairy person.
It was a little fairy.
It's a little fairy, and it said, "I want to believe."
Poster. I'm gonna make that poster and sell it.
The truth is out there.
The truth is out there, and also, humorously enough, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a huge bruiser of a man, like just a giant, like over 6 foot tall in an era where that was very unusual. So he's this giant man, and Harry Houdini was fairly wee.
Yes.
And so that size dichotomy just makes me happy, where you've got the giant bruiser being like, "But I think the fairies are real, Harry," and Harry Houdini being like, "They're not real, you idiot!" like grumbling away angrily.
I can prove it. Because
taking you for a ride again.
I'm going to debunk it. I'm going to debunk it. Because magicians are shite, and I hate them all. Wait, actually, Harry Houdini was from...
Harry, aren't you a magician? No!
Also, Harry Houdini was from New York. He didn't sound like that.
Oh, even better! Oh my god, that makes it even better! I forgot he was American! Oh,
yes.
my god, turn of the century American? Even
yes.
better!
Yeah, he was from New York.
No, listen to me, Doyle, no. These girls, I know a shyster when I see a shyster, Conan. These girls cannot be trusted. I'm telling you, those are clearly illustrations cut out of some kind of magazine or some stuff. No,
but
Harry, I think they might be onto something. Spirit photography. Nah, spirit photography ain't shit, son. They're just pulling crap out of their mouths and using the very slow shutter speed to fool you into thinking they've captured something supernatural.
Trust me, I've seen ghost photography before.
Look, I've made ghost photography before. Sometimes you gotta make a little money on the side. Suddenly Harry Houdini's a hustler. I'm very into this idea, and I'm so sad it's already been done.
That's all right. If we have learned anything from the media, it's that just because it's been done before doesn't mean it can't be done to death. So just... Hey,
Hollywood.
So write it up. Write it up.
Or check out my new series on AO3. AO3. AO3 is like AO3, but
way more obscure.
Way more obscure. It's very hip. You have to be invited. I write the adventures of Harry and Conan. One is a big, soft, gentle book.
Oh, he goes by Conan? I like to assume that he goes by Artie.
Oh, I see. I think I was just calling him Conan because of the anime series. But
oh yeah, no, I feel like he'd be an Artie.
Detective Conan. But yeah, an Artie.
He'd be an Artie.
Artie. Hey, Artie. Listen, Artie. No, how have you survived this? Oh, I forgot you landed gentry. Forgot about that shit. Listen, here's how it goes down in New York, okay? I got a bridge to sell you while you're at it. You want it? It's full of fairies. Why not? Do you really have a bridge for me? No, I don't have a bridge for you.
But I like fairies. I think that'd be wonderful.
It's beautiful. I didn't know they had fairies on bridges in New York. No,
I
Harry,
should
don't.
really visit the new world. I've
This
missed
New York.
this New York.
This York of
It sounds fascinating. And you say there are fairies on a bridge?
He dresses in like, you're gonna make him a cosplayer. So like, he's part of the CSA. He just dresses in very like, no, look, I've been reading these interesting things from the Order of the Golden Dawn, and they say, oh
no.
no, Harry, no, Audie, no, what are you doing to me with this stuff? What are you doing to me here? Look. Oh my God, no, there's no. I'm gonna take you to a museum or something. Oh, I own several museums. You got the class dichotomy, you got the two different countries.
Did you realize that I helped to invent fingerprinting?
Yeah, no, I know that, and it upsets me. How can you write this brilliant detective that only uses logic and no supernatural stuff is real, and then you come to me and you're like, hey, help me investigate these theories, because nobody believes that they're real, and I believe that they're real, and I look at them and they're cut out illustrations from a children's book. What am I supposed to do with this?
Well, Harry.
Well,
Harry, you see, I once had a great fall. Off of a falls, ironically. And
I got really inspired. I read a story about it.
I hit my head on the rock, and then I was very inspired by all of these things.
Arthur Conan Doyle, the father of the modern. Well, you can argue, Agatha Christie versus Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but one of the formative people of the modern mystery movement, creator of one of the most enduring characters of all time, just a sweet, bumbling, soft boy. Hello. Would you like to come see it?
I kind of think of them as being as like the Lenny and George of the supernatural mystery solving world.
He wouldn't be a Lenny because he's not an idiot. I mean,
No.
he was an intelligent man, and that was, I think,
but in your show, I feel like
my show.
Show, I feel like it would be he'd be
we're gonna portray him as sweet and trusting and naive.
Yes.
But not necessarily stupid.
Oh no, not stupid. He might actually be, he could be very, very, he could be a genius.
He's very smart.
But he is kind of like an idiot savant.
He's just not good at critical thinking.
No.
He's just not good at applying those to his own life.
No, I feel like that's how you set your show apart from other Houdini doors.
Spends a lot of time being like, in your novels. Yes. When there was a guy who said he could do a thing, but nobody else could do it. Yes, I have several novels like that. Yeah. What usually happened in those novels?
He solved the crime.
He was the bad guy. For sure. Yes. Very wicked. Used his wiles to do bad things. Okay, how does that differ from, like, right now? Oh, because Lady Coddington... Lady Coddington Consworth would never lie to me. Did you see all her jewels? She seems very trustworthy. Stay tuned for my spin-off series, Lady Coddington's Conworth.
And with that, I'm gonna play some music.
Do you suffer from the horrendous ailment of omnitism?
Oh, it hurts everywhere.
So many of us do, having never realized that there is a simple and easy cure. With the introduction of Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented omnitism oil, a healing antiseptic liniment, you can be free from crippling omnitism. This amazing new oil can be used both internally and externally, but is best when used in combination. Headache? Phineas can cure that. Gut rot? Phineas can cure that. Bunions? Eye strain? Toothaches? Phineas can cure all of that. Generalized, non-specific pain? Phineas can cure that too. Right away on a cloud of happiness, using Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented Omnitism oil. Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented Omnitism oil.
2:15. Oh, I must get a little hand put on that watch.
Aye, it's about time you were tuned into Mad Wasp Radio. Always the best, coming out of the nest. Aye, thank you all.
All right, so Emmett, since we already know what TV show I would obviously remake and make $1 million doing, because I think my pitch is pretty good. If you could have any, if you could have free reign at any property, regardless of whether or not it's already been done, would you pick?
I would remake Scarecrow and Mrs. King, and it would be the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, and with Coretta Scott King. No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't be Coretta Scott King, though that would probably be awesome.
And I would watch it. Absolutely.
And she would just berate the Scarecrow constantly.
Well, gee, if I only had a brain, we could solve this mystery.
Oh, aren't you just the whitest of men?
Golly gee, don't know what you mean by that, ma'am. I'm a scarecrow. I'm made of sackcloth and straw. I know that's the Scarecrow's voice.
Right. It seems racist.
That's where I'm going.
That seems racist, and I don't like it.
Or it's the Scarecrow from Batman.
Oh, God, no. And then I'm very not on board. No. But actually, I would really like to remake Scarecrow and Mrs. King. That was one of my...
That was not a joke.
That was not a joke. That's one of my favorite TV shows. When I was a kid, there was something about it that just appealed to me so much. I don't know why.
So how are you going to pitch this for the modern audience?
For the modern audience. Well,
or at least how are you going to pitch it? Because like my pitch was clearly angry, scrappy, New York, Harry Houdini, and big, dumb British Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah.
So how are you reimagining Scarecrow and Mrs. King?
So in the original show, Scarecrow was that's the code name of Bruce Boxleitner's character, and then Mrs. King was a stay-at-home mom that gets roped into the espionage thing. So I was thinking that it should be Viola Davis should be Mrs. King, and that she is a. I actually like to think of her as not as a stay-at-home mom. She's more like a working mom. Like, also just queen of the world.
College professor. I always imagine her as a college professor.
College professor, probably has several PhDs in something. And then some, depending on how you want to look, like, I wouldn't mind Idris Elba as the Scarecrow, but also because just very heavily on the African American lean in,
also
because
any excuse to cast Idris Elba.
Because Idris Elba is just yummy, and he's played a spy before.
That's right. I was gonna say he plays a very good spy.
Yeah, so I feel like he would be good. Also, if you watch Luther, looks really good in a suit. So awesome. Yes. Yeah.
And then he's also all uptight and British.
Yes, and he's very British, very uptight.
Once again, we go with the British and the American dynamic.
Yeah, and Viola Davis is a smart-mouthed, savvy, intelligent woman. And then you've got the Idris Elba character being the suave spy, and she doesn't deal with, like, she's just not having it.
So here's a question.
Yes.
I have a question for you. I have a question for this dynamic, because I'm already shipping it in my mind, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he like a classic 007, very British spy? And is she like a more modern lady that is like, no, don't do this sexist bullshit with me?
Oh, I was going to make him gay.
Oh, ooh, sorry. The possibility of Idris Elba kissing men just hit my hind brain.
Sorry. I probably should have led with that. Well, I'm gonna say he's not so much gay.
Shipping.
How about more like bisexual? Because
better.
Because as a spy, he needs to be able to manipulate everyone successfully. And so I'm just gonna lean right in on that because I feel like
The moment my lizard brain realized Idris Elba might kiss men was caught on audio. And it went. Except I kept it a little cooler than that.
no, it's all right. It's all right. It was
Totally had an emotional response to that I am not ashamed of.
no, because honestly,
I might be blushing.
yeah, no, I think that as a spy, that would actually come in handy because for one, it would make your spycraft a lot more believable. So, and if you're gonna go like on the James Bond kind of suave, debonair, sexy. Also, I believe, like, I think on the original show there was a lot of like schmoozy, sexy thing that as much as they could get.
Will they? Won't they? Banter.
Yeah, as much as they could get away with on a network television show in the 80s, and and then Viola Davis, basically
decimates him every time.
Yes, decimates him every single time. Does not fall for any of his shenanigans, and yeah, and it has absolutely no interest in him.
Because she's already married. Thank you.
Well, in the original series, she was a widow, but in this, I think I would like to think that she is already, like, whether she her relationship status is not important. Like,
oh yeah, so no romantic, like no.
There is no romance between the two of them. They actually are more like buddies. Think more like Furiosa and Mad Max, where like they are.
Emmett, I hate to tell you about some of the fan fictions I've read.
I know they are. I know, but in my mind, Furiosa and Mad Max are soldiers together. And buddies. They're more buddies. Respect. Yes, and mutual respect, and they are buddies, not romantic.
I can accept this. I will recant my prior.
But you can lust. But you can lust at Scarecrow Idris Elba being all as much as you want. Oh. I have no problem with that. Actually,
I had no problems. Once you said that, I had no problems.
Yes. Also, I am completely fine with Viola Davis being a hot professor, like, whatever. Like,
hey Viola, what's up? Listen to our podcast. Please don't. This is awkward and uncomfortable. But what's up?
But yes, so that would be the one of the shows that I would read. No, I have a whole 80s TV series thing that I would do, like Remington Steele. Don't even get me started on that.
You want to know what 80s show I'm rebooting with Gen Xers?
For
Golden Girls.
Oh yes. So who would
Gen X Golden Girls?
And who would star in this version of Golden Girls?
See, that's the part that's hard to parse. Because do we use like Gen X actors? Because if we are using, so we got to get. Let's see, we got to get Winona Ryder.
Okay,
she's got to be.
But I mean, they're not super old yet. We're not super old yet. We're not dotage yet.
Well, so the Golden Girls, all the women in the Golden Girls were in their 50s, early 50s when the TV show started, and I hate to break this to you, Emmett, but we're fast approaching Golden Girls age.
Well, no, I know that I'm fast approaching Golden Girl to age. Wait, they were only in their 50s?
They were only supposed
to be.
For
some reason, I thought they were like supposed to be in like their 60s or 70s.
Nope, that's why B. Arthur had her aging mother living with her, because you're in your 50s, you've got a mother who's in her 70s.
Wow, I suddenly feel really, really old. Or really young. I'm trying to figure out. I'm only like 3 years away from that, and I just shaved my head into a mohawk, and I'm feeling very much like I don't understand.
Well, so that's how we sell.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Girls, because then it's like, hey, we're we're not a generation that's been left behind like the boomers. We're still kind of with it, but not really, and we don't understand all the new terms.
Aren't we
but we're
vibrant?
trying, and
We're
we're
vibrant?
Googling it. Gosh darn it.
Okay, so we got Winona Ryder. Who would Winona Ryder would be the Rose character?
Rose would clearly be Rose. I think let's see, who else? Who else is a 90s actress that we could cast in this? Or actor. Doesn't have to, we don't have to be specific on the gender roles here. Let's just think of some 90s folks. Let's get Skeet Ulrich in there.
Oh.
He can be in there. Get Skeet.
Who would he be?
He'd be Blanche. I'm not giving this any thought, FYI. I'm just throwing stuff out. I don't know. Who would you cast? Oh, who are we going to do as? We need a Dorothy, and we need a Sophia. So we need an older actress, an 80s actress, to be our Sophia, or slightly older than that. So who's been in a John Hughes film that needs to be?
So Molly Ringwald should be.
Molly Ringwald would also make a really good Blanche, though.
Well, I was gonna say she should be Dorothy.
Oh, she could be Dorothy. And
yeah.
then who's her mom?
Oh, that would be what is her name? She was
Catherine
the mom.
O'Hara.
Yes, Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Molly Ringwald is the oldest of them. She's a little bit older than everybody else. Yes. I'm not 100% sold on Skeet Ulrich. So if you've got a better 90s actor that can be in our Gen X reboot of the Golden Girls, please feel free to hit us up. Oh, who was the girl that was in Empire Records that shaved her head? She could be in there, and she was in the Craft.
That was Robin somebody or other. She was in the Craft.
Yeah,
she was in the Craft.
Who would be your Gen X Golden Girl? Let us know.
Oh,
who she would
listeners,
be.
Tell us.
And we're gonna workshop.
We're gonna workshop this.
That
okay.
When we sell this, we will never credit them, and we will pretend it never happened. We will nuke this episode from orbit. But you can let us know
at the Clockwork Cabaret at gmail.com.
Or the Clockwork Cabaret on Twitter with the O removed in work. Or on Instagram, or you can at either of us. I'm at Lady Attercop, and you are at Emmett Davenport on Twitter and
Mad Spinstress on Instagram.
Yeah. So let us know who your Gen X Golden Girl would be. Because Skeet, I feel it kind of feels right, but it also doesn't.
No, he's the brother. He's Dorothy's brother.
Oh, Dorothy's brother that shows up, or maybe ex-husband.
Yeah.
Remember how Dorothy had the loser ex-husband that showed up constantly?
Yeah. Maybe that's who
one
he
of
is.
them. One of them is dealing with coming out later in life. One of them is struggling with gender-neutral pronouns.
Yeah.
That they feel like they might be too old for it. Like, relatable things that no one on this podcast has ever dealt with.
No, I don't know.
Looks askance to the side.
No, what are you talking about? Shush.
No, not this podcast. Definitely some other old ladies that don't know how things work in the real world. Not us.
It's true. Not us. Other ones that aren't cool and hip, and
like we are,
and down with the business. I don't know what's going on.
I really thought you were going to say down with the sickness.
I was not, because that's a terrible song. And with that,
but it is definitely, there's an episode of the 90s Golden Girls episode where they revisit their old music and they realize it's bad.
It's all bad. It's terrible. And with that, this has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
There, Emmett Davenport.
And it's not work we do.
It's love.
This is Mad Wasp Radio, home of the hits.